Alright guys, so in our last video we discussed how you guys can get that extra $100 credit on your AWS account. Now the problem is that as soon as you create the account and you try to create an EC2 instance, it won't let you create one. As you have seen in the previous video, it give us an error message, and that error message is related to the service quota. When we create an AWS account, AWS by default only give us one CPU, and the free tier requires two CPUs, and we don't even have access to T2 or T3 micro. I spoke to the AWS support and they told me that you would need to use your account a bit more to get some more quota allocated to you. So what you guys can do is just use your account a bit more, leave this one as it is in progress if you're unable to create it, and then after a month or two submit an AWS support ticket and tell them to increase your quota if it's not increased. Now the way you can check it, all you have to do is just go to service quotas and here select EC2 view running on demand. And you can see here, we only have one, but to run an EC2 instance for on the free tier, we need at least two. Just because I have one, I cannot create an instance right now. But AWS support told me that once they see more activity on my account, they will automatically increase it, or I can submit a ticket in future for them to increase it again. Now, since that's not in our control, we can still get $80 more from AWS to use, and then we can get that rest $20 for EC2 instance after a month or two. Now, as you guys can see here, I have already completed one, which is setting up an AWS cost budget. I will show you guys one more time. It's very simple, very easy. All you have to do is just create a budget. So any service you run, you don't get charged a bunch of money for it. So I'm going to click on that, start activity. It's only going to take 5 minutes. And here we're going to use the template because it's easy to do that way. Monthly cost budget. You can also do a zero spend budget. So as soon as your account hit 1 cent, it will send you an email right away that please go ahead and check your account for any running services. But we'll go with the monthly cost budget. I'll just select 0 or $1, and you can name it anything. My first budget. And here you need to provide an email address where you want AWS to send you an email as soon as your balance shows $1. So I'm just going to provide test@gmail.com. You can add more email address separated by a comma, faison@gmail.com, and that's it. And once you complete it, the scope will be applied to all the AWS services. So if you overspend on any of the services, it will send you an email. And you can see you will be notified when your actual spend increase 80 to 85%, actual spend increase 100%, and if your forecasted spend reaches 100%. Forecasted spend is an estimate by AWS. They just tell you how much you might be charged based on the services currently running in your account by end of month. Once you're done, just click create, and once you click create, it will create a budget in your AWS account. And once that budget gets created, you might have to wait 5 to 10 minutes, and then your account will show this $20. So now we have $120 credit. The next one we are going to do is using a foundational model in AWS Bedrock. AWS Bedrock is a service provided by Amazon where you can use a lot of models by OpenAI, Anthropic, and many other. You can test those models, and you can also build agents, or you can use those models in your applications or web app running within AWS. Pretty cool. So this activity is going to take 5 minutes. We'll get $20. Start activity. And now here it's asking us to select a model. Now, since your account is new, the same thing applies here for service quotas. You cannot just go ahead and choose any model. For example, if I choose Anthropic Claude Sonnet 4 and I click apply, it's going to ask me for my company name, website, the reason why I want to use this model. And once I submit this, then it's going to go to their support team. And if they allocate me this, then I'll be able to use it. But right now, because I don't have it in my account, I cannot cannot use this, so I'll click cancel. But we should be able to use some open source models, and since it's on demand, we should be able to use it. There are some other like Llama 3. This is on demand. We should be able to use this one as well. So I'll select that, or actually we'll go select OpenAI, and here you can give it some system prompt. The system prompt is something you give to the model to tell how you want the model to interact. That's fine. We're not going to do it in this video. And our first task is completed. The second task is to generate a response. So I'll just say, hi, how are you? And once I run it, I'm getting this error for all the models. I think it has something to do with my account verification. I'll have to go check with the support again why it keep happening, because this one is not the service quota error. This is something else, and it's not giving me anything else, so I might have to check through console for some better understanding. So that's fine, but that's how you can get that extra 20 bucks by creating a foundational model if your account allow it. If it doesn't, you might have to wait or talk to the AWS support for that. I'm sorry, I can't do anything. The next one we will try, I won't say we will complete this time. The next one we'll try is creating a web app using AWS Lambda. If you have ever used AWS, if you use LinkedIn, you might have heard about AWS Lambda a lot. Lambda is a serverless service by AWS. You can run your code without actually creating any EC2 instance or anything. All you need to do is just copy paste your code in Lambda and it will run it for you. It's serverless. You don't have to manage anything. It's all done by AWS and it's very cheap. So we will go ahead and create our first web app using Lambda. It's going to take 5 minutes. Start activity, and we will use your blueprint. You can also start from scratch, but you'll have to provide all this information. So I'll just go with the blueprint. We'll start with the HTTP, the default one, my first function. Runtime is fine. We'll leave everything default, and every time you create a Lambda, it's gonna ask you for the role, the permission. We'll leave it like this for now, and if I create a separate video on Lambda, we'll go over this in more detail. Very good. AWS already provided us with this code. It's just a very basic code which returns status code 200 on success, and we are going to create the function. I hope it doesn't throw any error this time. Oh, sweet, it worked. So once your function is created, now what you need to do is invoke your function. Before you invoke your function, we will go ahead and review the code again. And here on this page, it's doing the same. There is a HTML page to invoke the function. So there are two things. If whenever you create a function, you can test it within your environment, and you can parse some variables here as well. It's very easy to test, but when you are ready to invoke your function, all you need to do is click on this function URL and it will invoke your function. So there's a page, hello from AWS Lambda, and if we go back, there you go. Our tutorial is complete. Congratulations, and we will get our $20 for our second AWS service. Now let's go back. We might have to wait a bit. Actually, we didn't have to wait that long. It marked it completed pretty quick, and we have $40, a total credit of $140. Now let's move to our last service. I'm saying last service because that's the last one we can do. EC2 and foundational model. We have some issue with our account, that's why we cannot do it. So I will start the RDS. It's going to take us 10 minutes. It's going to be very simple because I'm pretty sure AWS is going to give us pre-built template, but let's see. So start activity, and here, okay, pretty cool. We have easy create. Choose easy create if you don't want full configuration. I'll show you what this full configuration is for. We are going to select the kind of database we need. You can choose any that is enabled. I'll go with the default one. It is free tier eligible. Hopefully our service quota allow this. Database, in this is just the name of your database. You can change the username if you want to, anything, and it's going to be a self-managed database. You can also manage it through AWS Secret Manager, which is pretty secure, but for this tutorial, since it's very basic, we're not going in much detail. We'll choose self-manage. You can also auto-generate password or create your own password. We'll do auto-generate, and then here are some options. The first one is set up an EC2 connection. So as we discussed in previous video, EC2 instance, we use it to host our web app or run services on the instance. It's just like a virtual machine, and when you run web apps, if if you want to connect this database with your EC2 instance or your web app, you can actually connect it. All you have to do is select from here and select the EC2 instance you want to connect this database to. Unfortunately, we don't have one, so I cannot show you, but that's for another day. We are not connecting anything today. We'll leave it. And then there is some default setting. Default setting is only for easy create. If you want to change any of this setting during your setup, you can actually select this full configuration mode and it will let you edit all these settings and you can configure it. We're not going to do it right now. Let's leave it like this and we will go ahead and create our database, and we're good. Our database is being created and we have completed another tutorial, so we should see another 20 bucks in our account in few minutes. I'll wait for this to complete and I'll show you what it looks like. And we can also check connection details here, the username we created as well as the password for the database. The status still shows creating, but we have stuff loading up here. As you can see, VPC is active. We have some subnets here. You can check monitoring and logs as well. And if you forgot to connect your EC2, you can actually connect it here, as well as any Lambda connection for your Lambda function. And you can change all these settings later. It's actually taking very long, but that's fine. And we can see CPU being used 47%. Now, if we go back to our AWS console, we see 160. So we got $20 more. So we completed 3 tutorials. We have 2 pending, which I will make sure I will complete in a month or 2 once my account have some more activity. But for now, this is what we have. Something is better than nothing, and I will see you in the next one.